What?
What?
What the hell is this?
Harumph. I didn't get a harumph out of that guy.
Give the governor harumph.
Harumph!
You watch your ass.
I see you shiver with anticipation.
Let the show begin.
Hey everybody, this is David Heretic coming at you with another edition of Reactions, Reviews, and Rants. And tonight, alright, coming back to Muse. Yes, indeed, Muse fans feeling you. Come on now. Here we go. Before we go any further, for those of you who are feeling inclined to doing all of the clicks and the likes and the bibbity-bobbity bop, do me a favor, before you do all that stuff, please watch the whole video first, okay? Give me a chance to actually earn those clicks and likes. Now, after the video's done, if you still feel like doing all those clicks and likes, then by all means, feel free to click away. This comes as a request from Origin Bliss, and Origin Bliss wanted to see me react to this song by Muse called Sunburn. Now, have I heard this song before? No, I have not. To the best of my knowledge, this does not resonate with me in any way, shape, or form. However, there's always a possibility I may have heard this song in passing and I just don't realize it. So as always, if I start listening to the song and I suddenly go, wait a second, I recognize this song, I'll let you know.
That's the truth.
You know me, I'm gonna be honest with you guys. Let's see, this was posted by Maria Nero, okay? And the video has 16,000 views. It'll get you there. Other than that, there's really nothing else left to say. Link to the original video will be down below in the video description for your viewing pleasure at your leisure. Let's get started. What do you say? Are you ready? Are you ready? Because here we go. All right, here we go. Muse, Sunburn, Radio 1's Big Weekend, Camperdown Park, UK, May 13th, 2006. Pretty sure that's what all those numbers mean. All right, let's do this.
All right, boy, let's do this.
Oh man, he looks so young. He's just a baby. let it go. No, oh boy. Uh, uh, oh man, uh, I'm torn. Oh boy. Okay. Nope. Nope. I'm not gonna say anything yet. I'm gonna save it all for the review. But I got a pretty rough job ahead of me here. Let me get my thoughts together. I'll see you in the review and we'll talk about it. Well, there you go, folks. That was Muse with a tune called Sunburn. This was a request from Origin Bliss. Okay. I feel compelled to do something that I don't normally like to do, but I do feel compelled to do something right now. I need to give a disclaimer, okay? If you are a Muse fan, and I'm not saying every Muse fan is like this, okay? I'm not. There is a very clear separation, okay? But if you are one of these Muse fans who do not hold anything they do in comparison to itself, if you are one of these Muse fans who just takes everything they play and every performance that they do, it doesn't matter how good or bad it is. If you are one of these fans that take everything they do and put it up on a pedestal and declare publicly for the whole world to hear that everything that Muse does deserves a 10, okay? If you're one of these fans who just blindly devote themselves to Muse, and like I said, this is not every Muse fan, okay? I know this is a small percentage, but if you are one of those Muse fans, I really would appreciate it if you did me a big favor right now. You see that X? Actually, it's over here somewhere. You see that X up there in the tab that you're watching this video in? You see that X right there? Do me a favor, move your mouse clicker over to that X and click on it. Just end the video right now. Stop watching, okay? Seriously, because all I'm going to say are things that you don't see because you refuse to see. All I'm going to do is say things that are going to upset you. They're going to absolutely trigger you, and you're going to get extremely defensive. And by being so defensive, you're going to get aggressive in the comments, okay? And guys, I just really don't want to deal with it, okay? I don't want to deal with those comments. They're just absolutely unsubstantiated and unfounded. So, just do me a favor. If you're one, be honest with yourself, okay? I'm not judging, okay? I'm not holding it against you. I'm not doing anything of the sort. If, as a matter of fact, if you click on that X over here If you go ahead and click on that X right now and close this video, actually, I'll probably end up having more respect for you because you're able to make a good decision and a good choice on your part. That it's going to be the best for you. It's going to be the best for me. It's going to be the best for the channel. Okay? So just please be honest with yourself. And if you are one of those kinds of Muse fans, just please click on the X right now. Okay? I'll give you 5 seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Last chance. Okay, if you're still here, you've been warned. Okay? All right. So, and if you're still here, that means you're a pretty level-headed person who can, you know, accept constructive criticism from when it comes to your, or at least one of your favorite bands. Okay? You're very open-minded, and I love it. I absolutely love that. So, let's get to the score, and you'll see what I'm talking about. On a scale of 1 to 10, I'm going to give that overall presentation a 5.7. Yep, 5.7. I feel good about that score. Let me tell you why.
Why?
Okay, first things first, a 5.7. What does that mean? Well, for starters, it's not a bad score. We're not, believe it or not, we are not in the negatives. We don't get into the negative scores until we get under 5.0. So when you're at a 4.9 or lower, those are negative scores, okay? 5.0 and up, those are all positive scores. So we're not in the bad scores. We're not in the horrible scores. We're not even in the pretty bads or not so good scores. We are in the okay range, okay? A 5.7 would equate out to an okay skill rating, okay? Because overall, this presentation was okay. It would also get 3 out of 5 stars, 3 out of 5, all right? And a C+ letter grade. Yes, a C+. It's a little better than average, okay? There's nothing negative in the scores here. Trust me. So yeah, a 5.7, okay skill rating, 3 out of 5 stars, and a C+ letter grade. Now, how did I come up with that score? So glad you asked. The song was actually pretty good. I liked the song. It was a good listen. It's very simple. It is literally 2 chords. A and E. Back up to A, back down to E. Back up to A, back down to E. There were no other chords. That was it. I'm sorry. There's just nothing impressive about that. There just isn't. The musicianship was good. Matt's guitar playing was really good. He really knows how to make that whammy pedal work for him, doesn't he? He has it set at a 2-octave range, and he knows how to utilize it within his playing. He's sitting there, and this is probably the most impressive part about the entire song, when he was doing those 2-octave arpeggiations. But those 2-octave arpeggiations were actually the exact same arpeggiations, just being done with the whammy pedal. The whammy pedal was really doing all the work. The fingerings he was doing were just single octave. He was just doing single octave. And then he would put his whammy pedal down, because while he was doing the single octave, he was putting the whammy pedal and utilizing the whammy pedal to go up an octave, right? Then when he would get up to that octave, or in this case, 2 octaves, he would stay there. He would just keep the whammy pedal pressed all the way forward, and then he would start on the lowest string and do a 2-octave arpeggiation. It made it sound like it was way up on the neck, way up here, even though he was clearly playing down here, doing a 2-octave arpeggiation. Like I said, he knows how to utilize a whammy pedal. He really does. He knows how to make it work and do a lot of the heavy lifting. Nothing wrong with that. I mean, like I said, like I've always said when it comes to those pedals, there is a certain skill that comes with utilizing those pedals. And you have to practice at it. You have to get used to it. So he clearly has. I've known that for a while now. It was interesting seeing young Muse. This was in their, I don't think we were in their infancy, but we were definitely in their earlier days. And it shows because they as performers have grown a lot. Now, having said that, I would give the song, honestly, on its own, it did have a nice groove. It did feel good. It was a fun listen. I didn't hear anything that stuck out like a sore thumb. I didn't hear anything bad. I would give the song on its own, honestly, about a 6.2, maybe 6.3, but I'm leaning really more toward that 6.2. But I'm giving this a 5.7. Wait, what happened? Why did the score go down? Well, if you've been watching this channel for any amount of time, you already know what I'm gonna say. So say it with me, kids.
Sing it out one time.
A live show can help your score, or it can hurt your score. And listen, I understand this is younger Muse. I'll be the first to admit they have grown a lot as performers. Absolutely. And I am fully aware of that, and I fully acknowledge it. Having said that, though, this particular performance, it hurt the score. It absolutely hurt. And I know this is younger Muse. I know they haven't matured as performers yet. I get it. But the reality is, yes, it's younger Muse, less experienced Muse, and it shows. Okay? So let's go down the checklist. You'll see how we came up with that 5.7. We'll see why we dropped a whole, half a point, 5/10, from a 6.2 down to a 5.7. You'll see. I promise you'll see. First things first, stage presence. Check. Yeah, they look like performers. They do look like performers. They did kind of act like performers, I guess. So yeah, I'll give it a check. It's not the strongest check in the world, but I will check the box. It's weak, but it's there. Stage energy, no, none, zilch, nada. Nobody really moved around. The only person that moved was Chris, and that's because he turned around and went backstage while playing for some reason. Maybe he was having technical issues with his bass. It's very possible. I think that might have been the case, because I think there were a few times where I saw him pluck a string and we didn't hear anything. So it could be maybe his battery pack was dying. It's possible. Maybe his pickups were dying. Maybe he has active pickups. They look like passive, though. Those don't look like active pickups. They look passive, but maybe they are active, and maybe his battery was dying and they had to switch out the battery really quick. It's an easy fix if you have the back of your bass set up right. You can literally, especially on newer models, it's even easier. You just, flip a little tab and the door opens, and you take the 9-volt, switch it out, put another 9-volt in, put it back in, floats with the flap, and it literally takes 15 seconds, if that. So that could have been the part of the issue too. But even after he came back, he just went back to his position. He just stood there. So no, there was no stage energy. There was also no stage interaction. Nobody interacted with anybody. Everybody was far apart from each other. It kind of looked like, it looked like they were complete strangers. There was no interaction. They didn't even look at each other. It was weird. So yeah, no stage interaction. How about crowd interaction? Did we have crowd interaction? No. Zilch. Nada. None. Nobody even motioned out to the crowd. There were no gestures even out to the crowd. There was nothing. They were just playing the song. No, there was no crowd interaction, so that also gets a big fat 0. Showmanship. No, none. Zilch. Nada. There was no showmanship. So out of the main 5, we only got 1, and it was a weak check. It was weak. Production. I will say this. Production did help a little bit. Remember, production's bonus points. But I could tell that their lights were designed to go with the song. There were a number of times the patterns lined up right with what was happening within the music. So clearly, lights were designed. So production, does get a check, but it's not one of the main 5. So it does help for bonus points. It did help it from going down too far. We could have gone lower. Oh, yes. We absolutely could have gone lower. No, but it did help keep it up a little bit higher than I was thinking we were going to go. So this is how we came down from a 6.2 to a 5.7. And look, I get it. Muse fans, you don't want to hear that. I understand you don't want to hear that. But facts are facts, okay? If you look at their performances from 2022, 2023, you look at those performances, compare them to this performance. I'm sorry, but there is just, there is a glaring difference between the two. Here's this performance down here, and here are those performances way up here. It's a very clear difference. And I understand. You're older, they're more experienced, they've learned, they've adapted, they've made changes, they've realized the importance of putting on a good visual show. They get it now, but clearly back then they didn't. And it's very obvious from what we saw in this performance. And I know that, everybody doesn't want to hear that their favorite band had these points where they weren't as good as they are now. But folks, that's part of the growing process of being in a band. Your bands are going to evolve. They're going to grow. They're going to improve. They're going to get better. And they absolutely did. But this was a starting point. And by comparison to those other live performances that I've given 8s and 9s to, can you honestly look at this performance and say, it's just as good as those performances later on in their evolution? The honest answer, if we're being 100% honest here, is no. It's not as good. It's not the same. There is a pecking order, which is why I'm giving this one the okay scale rating. It's not a negative score. It's an okay score of 5.7. I feel good about that score, and that's where we're going to stay. So let's wrap everything up here in a nice shiny bow, shall we? We have a 5.7, which is an okay scale rating, 3 out of 5 stars, and a C+ letter grade. Take your pick. I don't care. Whichever one of those floats your boat. Final word, final score, I have spoken. Well, that's going to do it for this edition of Reactions, Reviews, and Rants. Hope you all enjoyed the show. Hopefully I was able to entertain you. If I was able to put a smile on your face and brighten your day, that did my job, and I'm so glad I could do it. If you guys feel like joining the fan base, go ahead and click on that button down there. If you guys want to like the video, go ahead and like the video. If you guys want to ring the bell, go ahead and ring the bell. It honestly doesn't make any difference at all to me, but if you guys feel like doing these things, well then by all means, feel free to do so. Well, that's going to do it for the night, folks. Thank you very much for watching, and as always, this is David Heretic signing off, reminding you to stay fabulous and support each other. Later. Peace.